Today we're looking at the 2023 Girls 18 Southern Conference Grand Final.
Oh, how about that? It's even better.
Count of the man, count of the hour.
That is sensational.
So the Girls 18's Grand Final in Junior State Cup Southern Conference was played between Eastern Suburbs, who are with the ball, and as you can see, Brindie. Brindie is a team from Canberra. So it's good to see a brand new club like Brindie, to my knowledge, dominating the Girls 18s. And we've just had some interchange, wide ball to the winger, and a nice skip outside for the first try. Great dive. Good positioning from the referee. Let's have a look at that again. So they've just had some subs. Fresh legs have just come on for Brindie. Dummy half realises, whether she did or not, but it's great anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4 are all pushed over to the far side, which means just all vacant space just out here on the left side, which she decides to use. Now, I'm guessing she's seen all these defenders bunched up from east because that's where all the Brindie players were. And because that's happened, she's decided to take all this open space. This is the link here. Now, I speak about it a lot of times in touch football about rushing up off the line, flying up off the line. It does make big holes in your defensive line. Okay, especially when you're this far off the line. Usually you've got so much space to recover. But you've flown up, they've taken the space here, and they've actually given the winger the ball with probably 20 metres of width to play with. Okay, because that's like the middle of the field. Okay, these two players are pretty much in the middle of the field. You've got 1, 2, 3 players here occupying probably 20 metres on this side, and one player occupying the 20 metres on the other side. So when the winger gets the ball, all of a sudden her look at all the space that she's got here. All of a sudden this defender, something's happened. Oh dear. Bear with me for a second. Don't want to do that. All of a sudden, this player here finds herself defending all this space, and there's probably that much again on the side that the camera can't see. So on that side, the Brindie player just skips around the outside. So when you give an attacker that much space to be in one-on-one, usually the attacker's going to win. So all the defence needed to slide across together rather than rushing off the line and make it so their winger is only defending a narrow corridor. So East have got the ball now, they hit back. Just a little bit of eyes up play here. So it's 3-on-3. Nothing too much is happening here. Defender, defender, defender on attacker, attacker, attacker. So man on, as we call it. We play on a little bit. Oh, there you go. They're in triangle form. Okay, that's sort of a mixed touch football style, but it does happen here and there in women's. We'll go on, if Brindie do this style once again, we'll sort of go into why, some benefits of doing that style. But what it means is actually this defender here should be the one in front of 18. Okay, the link now is link there, winger, winger. But because they're in that triangle shape, the 18 runs into the middle of the triangle and the link bites in. And when she bites in, it leaves her opposite link with no one in front of her, and then the winger has to come in as well. And they just get the numbers east. We'll look at explaining the benefits. Like that was a not so much a benefit of doing that shape and defence, but we'll talk about the benefits if we can see a triangle defence later. Brindie have got the ball back, sweeper play, and a bit of a counter. Nice try. Is it a try? It's a try, yep. Let's have a look at this one again. Okay, so middle comes up to make the touch. This isn't so much rushing forward. Okay, her centre of gravity is still very strong, so she can still move laterally. The idea is to make the touch away from this 7 metres. If you make the touch on the 7 metres, you know that you have to make the line to be onside, and they know when you're onside and when you're offside. Okay, so it's a big advantage for the attacker. If you can make the touch further out than that, they have no idea when you're going to be onside, and you know that you can get a little bit of discretion from the referee, and a lot of the times, as bad as it is to say, close enough is good enough, and you will be called onside. Okay, so that's what's happened there. To get the sweeper, which is what Brindie wants, they're going to pass the ball onto their other onto their other middle, who will drag this middle forward, and this girl will run around and receive the ball and hopefully beat that offside toucher. Okay, let's just go forward slowly. There it is. They drag the other middle up. She's made the touch. Now it's her job to pull corner, as they say, to protect her short side. Her shape is excellent. Okay, she's already gotten a head start. The sweeper's probably a little bit late. Okay, she probably needs to be here right now, receiving that ball. Okay, and she's going to try and beat this player outside or inside. Okay, let's have a look. But the change up from Brindie here is the dummy half has seen that player 1 and player 2, who are the open side, have really overcommitted to covering on the inside of their player here. Okay, and because they've overcommitted, yes, they want to watch the insides, but they don't want to be so bunched. This player here dumping the ball will split out and realign, but the dummy half will see all this space here and she will take it. So it's basically the sweeper is a big decoy runner. That's how much they've overcommitted. They've actually lost their footing and created a 3-on-1, which she's just picked a nice ball. Winger's done the best she could, but just couldn't make the touch. So Brindie go up. Well, they go up 5 points to 2, but it's 2 points to 1. The first try is worth 3 points to try and eliminate drop-offs. Another nice little play to the winger here from Brindie. Don't know whether I should be calling him Canberra or Brindie. I don't know. Let's have a look. Bit of a collision here. Actually, I do want to look at this. So straight after, we have 1-2 players who have turned their back. Now they're defending on this side, the far side of the field. Okay, and because they've turned their back, the close side of the field might feel the need that they need to get in tight and cover them, just in case they try to run through. Okay, and because they've turned their back, left some space. The winger's bit in. Probably didn't need to do that. I'd allow this player here to recover and make that touch. I really only want to be biting if that ball starts to go past me, and then I just reach and try to make the touch. But because she's bit in, we've got 1-2 attackers up against 1 defender who's just a little bit off screen. So if we go back, it was actually the middle that was making the touch there, and she turned her back and just allowed a little bit too much space for her to run. The winger didn't need to fly in like that, and it just created the numbers. Yeah, you really only want to be flying in like that if you're already short in numbers. Okay, if the defense is sliding like that, there's really no need to. So Brindie again with the ball. I think they tried a sweeper there, but it looked like a double sweeper. Yeah, it's no try, but what's happened here? Have they sent 2 sweepers? Oh, it ends up just being a middle. So it's person swept around here, but I don't think it's actually a sweeper play. She was just coming on as a sub. Okay, so middle. Ball carrier here. We'll make the dump, split back inside and realign to allow the dummy half to run at the offside player of the toucher. Now, in this case, they've got them both offside, which is excellent, but normally you'd only get 1 offside middle. So you want to make sure that the dummy half's picking up running to the offside middle. If she splits the wrong way, if she splits this way, she will pick up and run into an onside middle. Okay, it doesn't really matter which way she splits now because both of the middles are offside. The play continues. She split the right way and she's actually got in the way a little bit. The dummy halves ran, but the person making the touch was able to recover. So, not bad there. So, East with the ball, some nice speed running on with the subs. Been a nice play in dummy half. And she's missed the touch. Let's have a look at this again. Let's have a look at the momentum that they gather while they run onto the field. Okay, so I'm guessing that was the 4th touch. We've got 5 coming. Now, this line here is probably 8 meters away. So you don't really want to get them past that line. If anything, you want to step forward and make that touch as far away as you can. But look actually how much room they get to run here. They've probably ran 12, 13 meters with the ball. And not only that, 1 player, 2 player, they're actually behind the ball. Okay, the best defender that's closest to being onside is number 2. The referee is not even in screen right now. Okay, in theory, what you want this person making the touch, fair enough, but you want everyone else back here onside, ready to step forward or ready to just man on and slide. But because so many people are bent out of shape here, there's really no policy that can be followed in your defense. Okay, so the link's turned her back. Yes, she's pulling corner. Okay, but the middle here is too loose, and that's a massive gap for her to change her angle and run through. And because she does that, the link then tries to recover and save that touch. She turns around, and that's when she passes the ball. And then the link, look at her movement after this. She turns, and then she turns back. If she just stayed on her path to the short side, she would have had this protected, and there probably wouldn't have been a try unless they found a way back open side to get through. So 7-4 now, so 3 tries to 2. Little punish play. Is that down? No, he's called touch, but we'll look at it anyway. Just because it's a different play. So a punish play is very similar. Like if you thought this was middle, it'd just look like a quickie. A punish play is a quickie on the link. So link will dump the ball, or it doesn't really matter. As long as it's a middle link ruck, they split short side and they try to score somewhere at the link's feet. Because the link's got to pull a really hard short side. So the link's pulling corner, that's good shape from the link. Chasing out, that way this winger can just man onto her player. Okay, this person will get the ball and it's just going to try and score anyway by diving at the line. Middle here, very far over. That's a big gap. Middle should probably be here. Okay? We don't want to be too loose in the middle. So we just have a look at this now. 11's shape is really good, except she's run so far into the line, she should be running at an angle this way. Okay? Because she's got now all this space here to try and score this try, and she's also got a winger outside her as an option. What I would have done here is I probably would have shaped to pass, or at least made it look like that passing was an option. Instead, she just eyes at the line, which means she's going to dive, and the winger's able to make a smart read at the end and save that touch. So it's really good from the winger, but a nice little setup on that punish play. So East with the ball again. Oh, a bit of a lapse in judgment in defence from Brindie there. So let's have a look again. So the person's making the touch here. Look at the way she runs back, completely with her back to the ball. Now she's actually supposed to be marking her, but because she's not looking, she doesn't realise that until the last minute. Okay? So this player here has come forward, and all she's doing now is closing this gap to allow her to recover. But she's actually ran so deep that she's run away from the ball. Okay, so when this player releases to get her player, it just leaves this big gap with no one defending it. Okay, and the number 34 just sees that and is like, well, okay, thank you very much. I'm going to take this space. So it's just, again, when you're making that touch, you need to make sure you can turn your body. But as long as your head and eyes are facing that ball, you're okay. So another little punish here. Counter back the open side. This is just another variation of a punish. So we spoke about this before. Middle link ruck, dumping on the link, and you're going to split short side and try and score at the link's feet. But look at our middle here. Closing that gap already. That's a pretty small gap. That's nice from the middle. So what does the dummy half do? We'll play in slow motion. She sees the middle's overcommitted. And again, the middle is not looking at the ball. So it's good shape from the link here, but the middle is looking at her own players. It's almost like she's focused on what they're doing and making sure what they're doing is correct. And because she's focused on that, she doesn't realise that this ball carrier actually is turned and counted against the grain. Now, normally, the ball carrier would run in between those two players. Everyone else would then have a gap to run. This player is also overbalanced and allows the ball carrier to run around her. So we've actually got one... Whoop, did it again. We've actually got 1, 2, and a winger outside with only one defender that's just off screen. So a lollipop pass over the top probably would have been on, but nice defense there, and they just made the touch, and it was a touch pass. So we're getting down to the wire here in this game. Equal amount of tries, but Brindie scored first, so they're up by that 1 point. Let's see what they can do here. Again, they just shift the ball, and it was probably a little bit late, but let's look at defensive East here. We'll get to a pause here. This link is actually up nice and high. Now, if she's back towards the line, this player here gets the ball and has plenty of space to run and has a nice clear passageway to pass to her link. But because the East link is nice and high, all of a sudden now, look at her passage. It's completely blocked by the number 39. So the only way to pass it is if she passes it really high over the top, which the 39 will be able to turn around and make the touch, or she tries what she does here and does the around the corner pass, which in touch football, not really the best. It's usually going to get called a touch because, well, I don't know about you, but I've rarely ever got around the corner pass, gotten away with it just because it just looks like a touch pass, obviously. Brindie has still got the ball. Really putting pressure on the line here. Oh, nice intercept. I got to look at that. We've got to look at that again. That's a nice stretch. Okay, so we've just got a simple fade here. or a middle link 4-on-3 platform. And by 4-on-3, this player here, they're going to protect their short side. Okay, so they're sort of out of this play unless the play goes short side. 4-on-3 means you got 1 plus 3, 1, 2, 3 attackers out there. 4 attackers on 3 defenders. So the dummy half will take this hole, okay, and everyone else runs the next hole out. That's 4-on-3. Whoops. And we'll continue playing. What's happening? Here we go. Dummy half does that. Now this player here should be running this hole. Even if they are running this hole, let's just pretend they're running this hole. There's a person. This link's done really well by that. Okay? Now, she's cut off this option. Okay, if they throw short, she makes the touch. But in this case, they've thrown to this person here. They've tried to throw into the link, and she's up off the line where she can take that pass. It's what we call channel defense. And she's done that really well because she reads it, she catches it, and she's away. But it's just good reaction there from Brindie to actually make this chase. And looking at the time, there's not long left in the game, and a try here from East would probably win them the game. So, hair-raising stuff here. This was an interesting one. Now, it's a no try, but they set up really nice for one of those punish plays. Okay, so at the time, that's the link. And the reason that's the link is because Brindie actually had a player 4 subbed. Okay, so they set up for that punish, but they don't realize this player's here's just come from the box, and all she's going to do is get on the line, step forward, and basically destroy that punish play. So there's the punish. They've beat the number 11, but the next thing you know, there's another player right in front of them making a touch that they didn't see before, so that's unlucky. This is probably the last chance that they had. And the pass was called forward off the ruck. And off the ruck, I mean this pass here. Okay, so when we're talking about splitting or quickies, we always want whoever's dumping the ball to roll forward. Instead of just stepping to the side, that just creates more distance between them and the defense, because the defense are always moving backwards. They're not going to move sideways with you. But if you roll forward, okay, you're then keeping the distance between you and the defense nice and tight. So by the time they're on side, you're already in their face. Which means, obviously, you can't just get the ball off the ground. This player here needs to actually start running as well. They need to propel the momentum from the ground and take a couple of steps forward to put you on side and to get a nice pass. So we've got the rolling forward, okay, from the dumper, but we don't have much forward momentum going from the dummy half. She just passes it off the ground. And that's what the referees are seeing as the forward pass, which is a shame because this is what could have happened. And that pretty much ended the game. So it's a big congratulations to Brindie, and it was a really high intensity game. It was down to the wire. It was very stressful. I'm sure it would have been very stressful for anyone watching at the Bondi area or in Canberra. But Brindie did come away with the victory. So congratulations to Brindie, and thank you very much for watching again. We will be back very shortly for another game analysis on touchscreen. Thank you.